Welcome to part two today of why most first time investment property buyers fail with their financing strategies. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about potential loan options and programs that may be available to you, as well as how to determine the best overall financing strategy for your individual goals going forward. Understanding your loan options and terms as a first time investment property are critical parts of developing your overall financing strategy. You should be discussing programs and products and terms with your mortgage broker, but also your real estate agent, so you all have a good understanding of what is available to you and how that could potentially affect your overall goals when looking to purchase your first home. Currently, conventional financing accounts for approximately 50% of all investment properties purchased with financing in today's market. Conventional financing is going to take a look at the whole picture. It's going to look at a full financial review, including income, assets, credit, reserves, as well as looking at the overall property in terms of appraisal. If for some reason you do not qualify under a typical conventional financing scenario, you may have to look at other options. The two most common options outside of conventional are DSCR, or debt service coverage ratio, and hard money or private money type financing. A DSCR loan, or debt service coverage ratio, takes out a lot of the overall qualification parts that go into a conventional loan. There's no income, there's no credit, there's no employment guidelines or qualifications. On a DSCR loan, the investor is simply going to look at whether or not the property cash flows, meaning your rent exceeds the overall monthly payment, and you meet the overall minimum credit, asset, and reserve guidelines for loan approval. If the house appraises, you'll have an easy time qualifying for a DSCR loan, much more so than you maybe will on a conventional loan. If for some reason you don't qualify using conventional or DSCR loans, there are a third option out there. However, that option can be much more expensive, and I don't necessarily recommend it for first time home buyers unless it meets certain criteria and scenarios. Hard money financing, or private money financing, comes with much higher interest rates, much higher closing costs and fees, and much higher overall payment factors. And oftentimes, hard money is on an adjustable rate basis or short term financing, meaning you may only have a year or two before that loan becomes due, meaning you need to either refinance into a more permanent loan or sell the property altogether. So again, understanding which type of financing you're going to use is a critical part of your overall strategizing session with your mortgage broker and real estate agent prior to going under contract. Now, once you know the type of program you're going to use, there are a few loan features that you may or may not want to consider as part of your overall loan structure. One of the more common features in today's market is associated with DSCR loans, and that's interest only. In most cases, you can get interest only loan periods on 30-year fixed rates and adjustables anywhere from 5 to 10 years. However, understanding how to use an interest only feature is critical. In most cases, if you're going to keep a property more than 3 years and are banking not only on monthly cash flow, but long term appreciation and equity growth, an interest only loan may not be the right fit for you. But if you're keeping a property for less than 3 years and are mainly only interested in monthly cash flow initially and not so much in equity or appreciation, a interest only loan might be the right fit for you. The next option or feature you need to understand and consider is fixed rates versus adjustable rates. Both conventional DSCR and hard money often come with both fixed rate and adjustable rate financing features. Hard money often comes with adjustable rates only and usually comes on short term periods, meaning there's some sort of balloon feature or short term feature that's going to require you to either refinance or sell your product within a short period of time, usually 1 to 3 years. When considering fixed rates on DSCR or conventional versus an adjustable rate, really the biggest factor is going to be how long am I keeping the property? Again, if you're less than 3 years, an adjustable rate might make sense. If you're keeping it longer than 3 years, I recommend a fixed rate in most situations. But again, discussing these features and understanding how they affect you specifically is absolutely crucial before going under contract to set yourself up for success. Understanding how to put together the best overall strategy for you going forward is critical. You should be working with your real estate agent and mortgage broker in concert, discussing not only your goals for this property or short term, but long term going forward. Understanding how to structure your first purchase is critical. If you're looking to purchase additional properties and build a portfolio going forward, shopping for the lowest overall interest rate and going with the maximum amount of cash down you can possibly afford for loan qualifications to have the highest cash flow available may not be the right strategy. If you're looking for building a portfolio going forward, it might make more sense to put down the minimal amount that you can, taking a loan that offers you an interest rate that may not quite be the best rate available, but offers lower closing costs and points, if you will, might be a better strategy going forward for you in terms of setting yourself up to be ready to make that next purchase sooner. However, if you're looking to purchase one or maybe two properties only going forward and that's it, understanding that and knowing that going in is important as well. If you're only going to build a very small portfolio, putting down more cash to increase this property's initial cash flow might make more sense, just like paying a little bit more in closing costs in terms of points and fees to obtain a lower rate might make more sense. But on the flip side, if you see this property as a shorter term investment, again, less than 3 years, maximizing your overall financial position on this property is very important. It would be much more beneficial to put down less in terms of down payment and pay less in terms of closing costs and fees and going with a slightly higher interest rate if you're going to be selling that property in the short term. So, discussing your strategy with your agent and mortgage broker is critical when determining what type of program and financing you're going to use on that first purchase. You can't easily undo mistakes. So, working with your team, a team that knows your overall long term and short term growth goals, will help you avoid costly mistakes that make it impossible for you to have a successfully cash flowing property with that first purchase. All right, let's wrap this up. Having the right financing strategy in place prior to purchasing your first investment property is vital. Knowing exactly what your short term and long term goals are and working with the right overall team behind you will set you up for success. Working with the right real estate agent and mortgage broker who you not only know, like, and trust, but know that they have a basic understanding of how to develop a financing strategy, a rental property strategy, and has an understanding of your overall goals is critical. Working with the wrong team can present a hurdle that you may not be able to overcome for your long term success. If you like the information that's been presented today, please make sure you hit the subscribe button going forward. I will be presenting more information along these lines that you may find helpful, and I'll be talking with industry professionals as well as investors to gain their perspective on things that you should be considering and adding into your overall strategizing sessions to make sure you're going forward in a successful manner in a path that will lead to wealth and cash flow growth. Lastly, if you'd like to reach out and talk with me or book a strategy call, shoot me an email at askstevemolman@gmail.com and make sure to request a copy of my first time home buyers checklist. It contains a lot of great information that you may or may not have thought about that will help you going forward. So remember, successful investors don't buy perfect deals, they buy well structured deals. And preparation, conservative numbers, and a smart financing strategy matters more than timing the market to your overall success.